What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Don't Quote Us Sports. It is Wednesday, March 4th, and we've officially hit what is probably the best month in all of sports.
It's here.
The madness begins. End of the regular college basketball season. Conference tourneys start later this week. Got March Madness beginning in a couple weeks from there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on.
It's a time to be alive.
But my question to you is, I don't know if you have like any like go-to traditions for like March Madness or like things that must be done. But like, what's your favorite memory? What's the favorite thing that you consistently do for March Madness?
God, I don't. It's always fallen on spring break when we were in college, right? Like spring break just lines up almost perfectly. I remember being in Panama City with sun poisoning. Of course, we hit the beach day one. Me being a pasty white guy, didn't pay attention, didn't believe in SPF back then. So I got pretty bad sun poisoning to the point where I was in bed for 36 hours. I probably should have been in there for longer. But I remember thinking, like, thank God I can sit in this hotel room in pain and just watch the opening round games. Thank the heavens. My favorite memory, though, like I've got a couple. I remember going to Omaha and watching Drake and Iowa State both play. Granted, Drake fell. Oops. But truthfully, it was at your house. The first year that you hosted March Madness, we were out back playing a little pong, got the TVs out. But do you remember how that day ended for us? Do you remember what I was sitting there sweating?
No, but it was probably something. Oh, wait, was that the Miami Miami game?
No, ACC against MAC.
Yeah, Miami and Ohio.
It was Ohio, but it was Virginia.
Oh, was that what it was?
And you probably don't remember the bet that I had.
Mm-mm.
It was the first year that Iowa had sports betting, right? And you could do it all on your phone. You didn't have to go to the book. What an incredible time. I accidentally doubled up a bonus. It was like an underdog bonus and an outside, a top 10 seed bonus. And I had ended up putting like $100 on Ohio with both these boosts, just money line it. And I remember we were outside watching it. In the second half, do you remember where I was in comparison to everybody else?
Not in a good spot. You were inside while everybody was outside.
Sweating. Because it was like, it was a $900,000 winner if this hit or something like that. And I remember sitting in your living room praying to Dick Vitale, if we're being honest. And all of a sudden, you guys all came in. And I remember looking at you and go, everybody shut the fuck up. You're like, this is my house. I go, I don't care. I got a lot of money on this thing right now. And guess what? Ohio knocks off Virginia. And that just is a solid reminder to everybody that Virginia will always lose in the first round. That's just a fact at this point. That memory will stick with me until the end of my days. It was like a $900 win. I remember just freaking out in your living room.
Yeah, I have a similar one to that when I was managing at Peggy's. I remember it was
Shout out Pegs.
A Friday or Saturday night, and it was must have been the Sweet 16. So there was 8 total games, eight games, or no, it was the Elite 8. So there's 4 games one day, 4 games the next day. And I picked the winners of every game right one of those days, and I parlayed it, and I put like $100 on it, and I won $1,800. So I'm watching I'm on the opposite side of the bar, like
on the side you're definitely not supposed to be on.
Not if I'm working. So I'm on that side.
Shut the fuck up.
Watching
There's
the
games
TV
on.
Yeah, I'm watching the TV, and I am freaking out, and nobody can understand why I am freaking out.
Did you tell anybody? Or were you just like, if I
a
speak
couple,
this, it'll be over?
A couple of people, they knew. And I was debating for a lot because I think the last one was Gonzaga versus UCLA. And Gonzaga, I think, was the underdog. And this was the Jalen Suggs game, if I'm not mistaken, or the year where he hit that buzzer beater. I don't think it was in this game, but it was not looking good. So I was like debating to cash out or not multiple times, and I just fucking let it ride.
You never cash out. You always listen. I know the exact bar stool you were sitting in because I have sweat and mourned plenty of parlays sitting in that exact spot. I don't know if there's a better spot in sports other than that end spot sitting on that uncomfortable bar stool with lukewarm beer, just praying to the gods that something hits.
What are you talking about? I would never drink on the job. That would be so unprofessional of me.
I think it was part of the job requirement to at least catch a buzz.
No, because I have to drive home afterwards.
Yeah, well,
disavow.
Why do you think I moved so close to that bar? I was within walking distance. It was 2 blocks away.
And yet you still drove.
No, not consistently. I walked quite a few times, my friend.
Yeah, I did not
college bars. What a time!
Did not have the same experience.
No, but dude, March, like I saw a breakdown, like it was a woman's guide to your boyfriend's March schedule, and it was like, don't plan weddings, don't plan baby showers. They're not going to be there, and it's every weekend. I mean, World Baseball, March Madness, NBA is we're staring the playoffs in the face. Formula One's back this weekend. I know that's a big deal for you. You love a Formula One, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm in there. Especially with all the car changes this year. It's going to be mayhem.
Are you actually going to watch this year?
No.
Oh, I wish you would. The regulations have changed. There's another American team on the grid.
I just need to know about the engines. What they change with the engines?
Power units. And they changed.
Herb, I was fucking joking.
Oh. Sorry, I got excited. I thought we were talking a little Formula One, baby.
You're going to say things about an engine, and I'll be like, okay.
Let me get this out. The biggest change is the cars are shorter and narrower.
Wait, there's one thing, if I remember correctly. There was like something, they added like a button on like the driver's wheel, right? Where they could like open up flaps or something.
So it's the drag reduction system, that back fin. So if you're within a second of the car in front of you after X number of laps, usually it's 2 or 3, depending on the regulations, you can open that up and your car goes faster. It's easier to overtake people, right? Well, these crazy bastards changed the regulations, so teams got real crafty. One of the teams, you go from a shut wing to an open wing, and that wing, they curved it so they can full 180 rotate it, or actually 360 rotate it, and change the entire dynamic. And now everybody's like, is that legal? Can he do that? Sure shit can. And now everybody's scrambling to figure out how to make that work.
Yeah, I did remember that. See, I do pay attention ever so slightly to some things.
Mercedes had this thing where if you pushed the wheel in or pulled it out, the tires would angle in or out slightly on curves. And that immediately got thrown out the window. They were like, absolutely not. You are not allowed to do that.
And folks, that was talking Formula One.
Hell yeah. Hey, Australian Grand Prix, tune in. A schedule that might be in trouble with the current state of the Middle East. Race number 2 is in Bahrain, which just got bombed.
Yeah, that you bring it up, not that we get into politics a lot, but it was just awful timing because I had an office offsite that was in our office, but we had coworkers from our London office and from our India office join us. They got in, our folks from India got in Saturday, I believe, and they were supposed to leave last Friday or Saturday. Yeah, that did not happen. They are still here. I don't know when they're going home. And I feel really bad.
The company in which I work for had at one point in time, not me, but somebody was planning on traveling to India, and that got scrapped in a big hurry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they can always just fly over the entire United States, over the Pacific Ocean, through Asia to India, if they really want
It's
to,
still
right?
not super safe to do.
I mean, safer.
Safer, yes. Still probably not a safe thing.
Okay.
All I know is I won't be flying internationally anytime soon.
No, you don't fly in general. But let's talk some real sports.
Sports.
And I think we have to go back to our roots, and that's talking NFL. That's talking football. Because boy, have we had just a string of news coming out of the NFL. So I kind of want to speed run, but not speed run. Like, we can go into some detail on some of these. But there is a ton of things to cover, along with the combine as well that's going on.
My favorite time of year.
So obviously, all these transactions, none of them are technically official until the new league year begins at the end of this month. I believe the end of the league year is March 31st. So April 1st is the new league year. But from a trade perspective, we had kind of a shocker, in my opinion. And that was not a shocker from the Lions' perspective when they traded David Montgomery. It's what the Texans gave up in return for David Montgomery, which was Juice Scruggs, a former second round. He played guard and center, not particularly well, but he's still a body, a 4th round pick, and a 2027 7th round pick in return for David Montgomery, who is under contract for the next 2 seasons, I believe.
I thought it was one.
I think he only has guaranteed money on this year, so they can easily get out of the contract next year. But I think technically on paper, there's 2 years left on the deal.
Hey, don't quote us,
if I'm not mistaken. That one shocked me solely for the fact that, one, I don't know if Houston's front office watched the game in Foxborough that occurred in January. They could use any offensive lineman available right now because it is an absolute fucking dumpster fire. And we'll get into the other trade Houston made, but they traded not only one offensive lineman, they traded 2 offensive linemen. So, and then on top of that, they also gave up a 4th round pick. And I believe the original asking price Detroit was looking for that I had seen somewhere was a 5th round pick. So
for David Montgomery?
Correct. For David Montgomery. So
Houston's a fucking shit show.
So yeah, I was pretty floored by that. And part of me feels excited for David Montgomery because maybe he gets an opportunity to kind of take that bell cow roll back and whatnot. At the same time, he's also fucked because now he has to try and run behind that Houston offensive line or lack thereof.
It was already the worst offensive line in football. It was all predicated by them moving off Laramie Tunsil the way that they did, right? After you traded for him to begin with. So it's just compounding. And how many times do you and I have to sit here and just harp on it? It's embarrassing. And as a Titan fan, I mean, I'm elated. Thank God. But I mean, they realistically could be trotting out 3 rookies next year in the starting 5 O-line. Good luck with that.
Yeah. And then the other Houston trade that I was going to mention was they traded their starting right tackle, I believe, Titus Howard, to the Cleveland Browns for a 2026 5th round pick. They immediately extended his contract for 2 years, $45 million extension. So he's getting paid just under $20 million. Cleveland obviously needed offensive linemen. They had their entire offensive line were free agents or were not expected to come back for this upcoming season. So they were in bad need. Fifth round pick makes sense. It feels fine for Titus Howard. I think it is a bit of an oversell when you're paying him almost $20 million for a very average type lineman and not really sure where they're going to plug and play him on the line still, because he does have experience at both tackle, mostly right tackle, but I know he has kicked inside to guard as well.
And he can play left, I think. I think he's got the ability to do so. It's just he doesn't have the rep count. And I'll be honest with you, Titus Howard was the best O lineman. Granted, it's like being the skinniest kid at fat camp. You're still a fat kid. But Titus Howard was the best O lineman on Houston last year, almost hands down.
I think that rookie from Minnesota, Ariante Ursay, ended up coming on strong later in the year, but probably like throughout the entirety. Yeah, I'll probably give it to you.
Yeah, so good for Cleveland.
What I was gonna say when we were talking about the David Montgomery trade, I think the biggest loser out of all of this, Woody Marks fantasy managers. Sorry for you guys, especially you dynasty owners. It was gonna be his backfield this year. Now they're hoping for 50-50 at best, probably.
I don't know that I ever saw Woody Marks. I like Woody Marks. I like what he brings to the game. I don't know that I ever saw him as an RB1, like an outright, it's your job, it's your backfield. But I think he's always going to be, the plan has always been, he's a supplemental, right? In the era of smash and dash, right, that everybody is seemingly going to except for the Eagles and Niners. I think this works for them. I mean, it's clear signal that Joe Mixon is not going to be a part of that franchise ever again. And I think Houston fans and fantasy football managers are cool with that. Joe Mixon might be done. Joe Mixon's career might be over. And another running back career that just all of a sudden is done. You know what I mean?
Are we sure he's alive?
No, there's no confirmation of that.
I literally, there's still not even confirmation on what exactly happened with Joe Mixon. Like, they're saying it was an ATV accident and supposedly he broke his ankle, but then he didn't tell the team. He went and got it fixed, but then something didn't go right with the surgery. Like, it didn't heal correctly. So then he had to have 2 additional surgeries after he told the team. Supposedly, this is the story I heard. None of it's been confirmed.
Do we think he was covering it up from the team because of contractual obligations? And, we've heard about NFL and NBA players who have their clauses in your contract. You're not allowed to do X, Y, Z. Mm-hmm. And he was absolutely doing X, Y, Z.
Yes, 100%.
Fantastic. Nice job, Joe.
The trade that I'm most interested in, though, and this has to deal with your Tennessee Titans, because it was a shocker, in my opinion. And that was the New York Jets trading Jermaine Johnson, a former first-round pick, to the Tennessee Titans in exchange for T'Vondre Sweat, who you guys just drafted in the second round 2 years ago.
2024? Yeah, 2024.
So Robert Saleh is trying to reunite with his former Jets players. In fairness, Jermaine Johnson did have his best NFL season under Robert Saleh as head coach, put up 12.5 sacks, I believe it was. And then he's been dealing with injuries the last couple of years, mainly an Achilles injury. But to give up T'Vondre Sweat on a rookie deal, who has played
well when he's on the field.
Yeah, pretty well, I was going to say. What are your thoughts here?
Okay, I've got a few, so bear with me, hang in, strap in. What a lot of people don't realize is T'Vondre Sweat, when he was on the field, was one of the most effective run stoppers in the NFL. There's advanced analytics. I'm sure you could find them better than I could. But when he was on the field, you couldn't run up the middle. That was statistically proven. The issue was he wasn't always on the field. I liked what T'Vondre brought to us in a true 3-4 style defense. The
I think he
problem
was the
is
perfect fit next to Casey too, or not Casey, next to
Simmons.
Simmons, because
Yep. Hey,
Simmons is
shout
more
out
of like
Jarrell.
the um, bull rusher, like pass rusher from the interior, and Sweat is really the brick wall. Like I'm just gonna
100%.
take up two dudes and stop the run.
100%. So losing that aspect of the game, like our defense was better when Tavondre was on the field. Tough as a fan, but then you get Jermaine Johnson back, who again was the most productive under Robert Saleh. He is the perfect edge rusher for Saleh's 4-3 defense and all the adaptations that he runs off of that. We as Titan fans and an organization have felt in a big way the lack of an edge rusher since Harold Landry took off to go join Vrabel in New England. So I'm not mad about this trade. It makes me really intrigued at what we're going to do at 4 in the draft and what we're going to do in rounds 2 and 3 because, and we'll talk about, there's a number of interior, big body, run stuffing D tackles in this year's draft class that are slowly falling down the board. And I think we can get a quality guy in 2 or 3 to replace that, but I don't know that it's going to be to the extent and productivity level that Tavondre was. So overall, as a fan, I'm not mad about this trade. Sucks to lose Tavondre, but I think we got a solid return. The toughest part is for me is that we're gonna have to pay Jermaine, brother. We're gonna have to pay Jermaine.
I was just gonna point that out. And on top of that, you have to worry about how he recovers or returns from these injuries. But I think it also points to one, just the dire need of edge rushers that Tennessee had to make a move like this, where they're probably giving up surplus value in the grand scheme of things.
Sure.
But when you think about it, we could be talking 2 months from now, and now your offensive line looks like looks like Simmons, Jermaine Johnson, and then Ruben Bain, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, David Bailey.
Is anyone mad at that?
Like that's like, and those are all dudes that are under the age of 28. So it's a young group that should hopefully be around for a couple of years. I don't know. Could be exciting.
And the Titans knew what this plan was going to look like the minute they hired Saleh. It was going to be, we are going to build one of the best, a top 5 defense in the NFL. Like that is our plan. That is our goal year 1. The offense will do what the offense is going to do. It'll maintain under Dable, but that defense is going to be the headline of this whole operation. So I'm not mad about this. Plus Jermaine, if he comes back healthy, is such a high quality pass rusher. And he's decent in the run. He's probably better than decent. He's probably solid in the run is where I would put him at. Was he a last chance U guy?
He was. He played at Independence. Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Give me that. I'm all about that.
Okay. Next one. Breece Hall got slapped with the franchise tag. He got the non-exclusive version, which is $14.3 million for the upcoming season. But the Jets have the right of first refusal, and they would receive 2 first-round draft picks as compensation if they decline to match. So, yeah, Breece Hall will be back in New York for this upcoming season. So, I don't know if that's good or bad.
We feel bad. At least, let me gauge where you're at, because I feel horrible for Breece
Hall. If his goal is to win, yes. If his goal is to hype up his value going into unrestricted free agency, well, I guess he could get slapped with the franchise tag again. But there's no way they do that twice for a running back, because what the cost would be, it would be astronomical, because it's like 1.5 times whatever the regular franchise tag value would be. So there's no way it would happen. But he gets to be the lead back again for an offense that probably is going to have to rely on him for a good amount of offense.
Yeah.
So I think it gives him a chance to up his contract value for next season, hopefully a multi-year deal. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world for him. just not being competitive.
I worry about. I mean, how many years have you been in the league?
This would be
Fifth?
he was a second. This is his second. He was a second round pick, so yeah, this would be year 5.
And we all know the life expectancy of a running back's career. I just worry that he's gonna waste another year with a dying franchise in one of the worst offenses in the league.
Hey, but at least he's getting paid $14 million to do it next season.
Yeah,
that's more than a lot of running backs making their entire careers.
True. I thought way back at the trade deadline, like I thought he was a move candidate immediate. I thought the Chiefs should make this move in a hurry. There's something about if he could have gone to Kansas City and still might, in the future, but I thought that would have been the ultimate fit. I feel bad for the guy. I think he's better than what he's been given in New York.
But in regards to running backs, a player that did not get hit with the franchise tag was Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker III. So he is now poised to become an unrestricted free agent when the league year opens, and he will be a hot commodity for any team with a need at running back.
And you know who's got a need at running back?
The Kansas City Chiefs.
The Tennessee Titans, baby. And we got the most cap room in the NFL. Give me that. How stupid of Seattle. And the writing was on the wall. You remember at the parade, the owner got up there and was kind of like bad-mouthing, kind of like, oh, he's trying to tell me that we got to get this contract done. Like, relax and enjoy it. Fuck you, bud.
See, it's just hard because with running backs, I just don't know how to value them, especially when it comes to that second contract, unless you're like a top tier, like top 3 player, like Henry was, like McCaffrey was, like Kamara was. Like when you're one of these middle, like I would say up, like above average, but you're not in that upper echelon tier, it's really hard to like gauge what that worth is, especially across a multiple year deal like this and what you'd be comfortable paying them. Because exactly to your point is the aging window for a running back is so much faster than any other NFL position. So by the time they hit that second contract, they may already be on, like headed for that decline, and now you're paying for that decline.
I get that argument, right? But he is young. He just carried you to a Super Bowl trophy. I don't get it. Let's talk about what their option is then. So it's Charbonnet. And we both know that.
Tore his ACL.
Right? And Charbonnet is not super effective anywhere outside of the 20 going in. Let's be honest. He's just not.
And this isn't to say that Kenneth Walker will not end up back in Seattle. True. They just don't want him back in Seattle at whatever the franchise tag value was, which was around that $14 million per year.
See, and I agree with you. He is not on a Saquon McCaffrey level of a contract. He's not in that A tier. Very few are, right? It might only be those two guys. Jameer may be up there. But he's in that next tier down. Yeah, he's in that next tier down. I absolutely believe that.
Yeah,
I'd be comfortable paying him 15 a year, 14, 15 a year. I really wouldn't have
Jonathan Taylor. So here, the top 5 at running back position: Saquon, McCaffrey, Derrick Henry. Sure. Oh, sorry, I need to give you the values. Saquon Barkley, 20.6. CMC 19, Derrick Henry 15, Breece Hall on that franchise tag that he just signed 14.3, Jonathan Taylor's 5th at 14. I think he slides in more in like that Kyron Williams, James Cook tier and those extensions that they just signed last year, which is more around 11.5 million. I think that would be where he is kind of valued at.
See, I would put him somewhere. I would put him on that Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor. And the big piece is that he gets to hang his hat on the fact that I have a Super Bowl MVP. And I know how that's a big deal, but it's not a big deal in the grand scheme. But, like, that's what you're paying for. The guy got you there, and you're supposed to reward him. So at 14 to 15 million on a team that really doesn't have like buku crazy contracts right now, I say pay the guy. But then devil's advocate is you're going to have to pay JSN. You got to figure out how to re-sign Rashid Shaheed. That defense is going to have to get paid in a year or two. Maybe that is the angle that they're looking at this of, if we can lose, where can we lose? And apparently they think it's running back. But I'd like to see Kenneth Walker back there. I like Kenneth Walker way more than I like Charbonnet.
Yeah, you and everybody alive.
I would hope. Well, apparently not Seattle.
The one thing Seattle does have going for them is the fact that Sam Darnold, and that deal that they signed him to, is going to be a steal for the next couple of seasons. So they probably can maximize in some other areas of the roster. Okay, next one. Vikings open to trading Jonathan Grenard. We'll see if anything comes of that one.
With that, do you think it would be a draft replacement or a different free agent to come
in? They would probably get a draft pick in return for him, and then Dallas Turner would probably just take a majority. Would just get more snaps, and they would try and fill it.
And try to speed up his development a little bit here, because his development has been a little bit slower than what we all thought it was going to be.
He played 66% of snaps last season. It's just the role that he is being asked to play is very different than what he did at Alabama, where it was hand in the dirt, get after the passer type of thing. Being in Brian Flores' defense requires him to do a lot more than that. Like, he drops into coverage a lot, which he was not accustomed to doing at Alabama. So it took him a while to get into Brian Flores' good graces, which is why I think the development feels like it's been slower. But this last season, you started to see it starting to click with him, and he made some good plays. So I'm not.
And I like him. I thought he was going to be closer to Will Anderson in development of, wow, what an edge rusher. And he's just not quite. And obviously, I think Will's probably got 30 pounds on Dallas, too.
Yeah.
So.
The biggest non-news, unsurprising report that came out, Trey Hendrickson will not be tagged by the Cincinnati Bengals. He will be an unrestricted free agent. He's out of there. Probably the most shocking news of the day, Drew Dahlman, center for the Chicago Bears, has informed the team that he is retiring at the age of 27. He had just signed a 3-year, $42 million contract last offseason. So talk about throwing a fucking monkey wrench into the Chicago Bears offseason plans and losing what is regarded as a top 3 center in the entire NFL. That's a tough pill to swallow if I'm a Bears fan.
Big time. And you just got him. He's been with you for a year. And 27, there's got to be something else going on there. He's only 27 years old. It's got to be an injury. It's got to be something else going on. But let me throw this at you, and kind of round of applause here for the Vikings. The Vikings are going to be the only NFC North team not looking for a center next year.
We don't know that Ryan Kelly could get cut still.
Potentially, but I think if now that this news is broke, the Packers are going to be looking for a center. The Bears, obviously. Graham Glasnow is going to be released from Detroit, and he's kind of been a center guard for him, really reliable guy. Shout out Marmion Academy, Aurora, Illinois, the homie, Graham Glasnow. It's interesting because there's really not a lot of centers out there in free agency, and
unless you want to beg for Tyler Lindenbaum and get him out of Baltimore.
We all know where he's going when he leaves Baltimore.
New York.
Straight to the Giants. You might as well just get the jerseys ready already. But like Lloyd Cushenberry, the Titans center, who he was a cut earlier this week, last week. he's all of a sudden going to be a real hot commodity because he's been doing it for 4 years. And all of a sudden, you're going to have a bidding war between the Packers, Lions, and Bears, amongst other teams like Houston, to try and go get Lloyd Cushman. Lloyd's going to get paid, brother.
It just goes back to a conversation we had during the NFL season. We are just in a state where there's not enough quality offensive linemen. Mm-hmm. So if you are 350 pounds and have a fucking pulse at this point, you will get paid.
Yeah.
You can see it with some of the deals we've even saw last year. Shit, Jawan Taylor, who is going to get cut from the Chiefs, he was getting damn over $20 million to be right tackle.
If anybody pays that guy, fire GM immediately.
But yeah, shit.
Hey, but shout out Drew Dalton. Like, good career, dude. You won't make the Hall. You really won't be talked about too much. But, like, be proud of what you did. You had a good career.
Plus, I'm pretty sure he went to Stanford, from what I read. Like, he graduated from Stanford, has a 4-year degree from there. So it kind of just took a page out of Andrew Luck's playbook, where get out before there's been any terrible damage done and call it a day. Be set for life.
Go live on a beach somewhere, bud. Enjoy it.
Next, the Colts placed the transition tag on Daniel Jones, which is $37.8 million. So it's $6 million cheaper than the franchise tag. But Jones could technically go sign an offer sheet with another team, and then Indy gets to match it. But in addition to that, the Colts will not franchise tag Alec Pierce, which is great news for anybody that needs a wide receiver, because he is probably, I would consider, the best available wide receiver out there. It's not a deep free agent pool.
Somewhere it's a mix of him, Juwan Jennings, and Wandell, and it's really about what you like, that each one does a little bit different. I like Alec Pierce. I don't necessarily know if I would want him on a long-term deal for my franchise per se.
I mean, he'll get paid because some of those deals that they got last year that were handed out, like, who was it? Dynami Brown.
Diami.
Yeah, he got like 10 plus million. Josh Palmer got a 3-year, $30 million deal with Buffalo. Like, Alec Pierce will be getting $15 to $20 million per season wherever he signs.
Correct. Yeah. Can we talk about Daniel Jones? So the trend, and forgive me, this might just be naivety. The transition tag means he can still negotiate with other teams. Indy gets to match, right?
Correct.
You said all that. I didn't think he was going to play next year.
I think he might not be ready to start the year, but I'm pretty sure he will be able to come back at some point. But again, recovery. I feel like Achilles injuries are so hit or miss, and like the timetables for those, that I have no idea. I have not been tracking that.
I thought for sure he would hit free agency, go unsigned for a year, and then kind of be the top bidding option in next year's free agency. So to slap $38 million on this guy, who you might not have until after the trade deadline. So I guess their plan is probably just run with, Riley Leonard until DJ's back?
I think that also just goes to show you the current state of the quarterback market, where Indianapolis, what are your other options?
Correct.
At that point.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. I wanted to talk about this.
I'd rather take a flyer on a known commodity within the building. Daniel Jones has been there for a year. He knows the offense. I'm assuming he's a good locker room presence. You know, he's not going to ruffle feathers type of thing. $38 million for him at the going rate for quarterbacks.
It's not terrible. It's not terrible.
Considering Malik Willis might get $30 million per year from some team this offseason, I'm happy to pay Daniel Jones $38 million.
Let's chat about that real quick. Let's chat about the current state of the quarterbacks available.
Let's get through the rest of these because there's a couple more. They're
killing me here. I want to just
hit there.
Chew on it.
Because the next move I was going to mention, which was also surprising to me, it sounds the Cardinals have informed Kyler Murray that they intend to release him on the first day of the league year next year. So Arizona already owes him $36.8 million for next season and another $19.5 million that will be triggered on March 15th for 2027. But he will not be on the Cardinals next season, which is surprising because I felt like they could potentially have gotten a pick for him, maybe. So we'll put that on pause for a second until we talk about the rest of the quarterbacks. Actually, yeah, no, that was the last one. So that it's a perfect segue. So, yeah.
We love a segue.
Quarterbacks.
This might be the absolute worst offseason in NFL history to need a quarterback. You look at the situation in free agency, and we're sitting here talking about Malik Willis being the best option out there, even probably better than Kyler because of the question marks around Kyler and his maturity, his love for the game, and his ability to actually do the job. Whereas Malik, I get it. The sample size is so small, and it was curtailed to fit him perfectly. But that's where we're at in free agency. Then you look at the draft, and you've got a number of NFL GMs saying, I don't think Fernando Mendoza is him. He's going to be the number one overall pick. He's going to be the franchise quarterback for the Raiders due to lack of options. This is going to be the worst QB class in a long, long time. It's the worst QB free agent, maybe of all time. And so what do you do? How do you do? I mean, are we at the point where some of these teams like the Jets are just sitting here, and I know it's the Jets, but just sitting here saying, fuck it, this season's already over before it started?
Well, yeah, let's just run through the thought exercise, right, of teams that are in need of quarterbacks in the current state that we're in and how fucked some teams are going to be. The Dolphins are in the market. Jets are in the market. Browns are in the market. So 3. Raiders, but that will be addressed through the draft. Vikings, we don't really know where they're at right now. Atlanta. And then Arizona, and then Pittsburgh.
And potentially, depending on what camp you sit in, the New Orleans Saints.
I think the Saints are good, but that is 8, like sure. I would say 7 because the Vikings will probably run it back with JJ McCarthy. They'll try and get a veteran in there, but that's essentially 7 jobs that are open, and the best available passer is Malik Willis, who has started a whopping
8 games in his career, if
something like that. And then your second best option is Aaron Rodgers, who last season was 27th in yards per attempt out of 33 quarterbacks.
Yeah, if you're looking to dink and dime, he's your guy.
Yeah. So I don't know if that is a viable option. Next best options, Marcus Mariota, Kirk Cousins, Joe Flacco. Maybe Geno Smith becomes available. You got Kyler, who will be available.
Nobody knows what's going on with Tua.
And then Tua, depending if they can get out from that contract. But I don't think there's any possible way they are able to do that.
So there's 7, potentially 8 jobs out there, and there are not 7 or 8 starting NFL caliber quarterbacks available right now.
No, there are not.
crazy level. I don't know that we've ever seen this. We've seen it with other positions. I don't know that we've ever seen the face of your franchise, the quarterback position, be this much of a desert. It's just there's no options. No. Anthony Richardson is becoming a viable option for some of these teams, and Anthony Richardson shouldn't see a football field.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a very depressing time to need a quarterback at this point. But depending on what position you're at in your franchise's timeline, like the Jets, for example, doesn't really matter if they're dog shit this year. Everybody expects them to be dog shit this year. Hopefully they are dog shit this year because next year's draft is supposedly going to have some great talent.
Potentially 7 to 10 NFL starting quarterbacks coming out of that class, which is crazy.
Yeah. So, like, they probably don't care too much. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, like we've talked about, they hire Mike McCarthy. They're going to be expecting to win games immediately. I don't know how they're going to accomplish that unless Kyler Murray is probably their best option there.
Yeah. But watch, there's gonna be all these teams are gonna bid for Malik on a 2-year, $30 million a year contract. And I think it's gonna be Miami. That's me, that's the Halfley connection with the head coach. But if Kyler's your best option, is he gonna sign a 1-year, let's see how it goes contract? Do you foresee that happening with Kyler Murray?
With the amount of guarantees that he already received from Arizona, he could probably be fine with doing that. And let's not foo-foo or poo-poo on Kyler Murray. The last time he was truly healthy, I think that was 2024, he finished the season top 10 in QBR. He has the ability to be good.
Mm-hmm.
It's just everything else, I would say. The baggage that comes with it and whether or not you want to deal with that. But can he go out and win you games? Potentially. I don't think he'd be the one carrying you to victories, but I think he can go in there and operate an offense if there's talent around him and be successful.
And let's be honest, if I'm the Pittsburgh Steelers, the one thing I'm lacking on my offense truly is talent on the outside of DK. Like we're running out of wide receivers to name out here. So it's just like, I agree. Kyler's probably not a bad teammate. He's probably not a terrible locker room guy. He's not going to come in and cause headlines for partying or speeding or some such nonsense. But does he even like to play football? We don't know. I don't know if he does. So, and I think that's why Malik gets a leg up. It's the passion and energy that he brings. And then there is some talent there, but he's a better runner than he is a passer. That's a fact. And the Packers had to entirely curtail that offense to work for him. I don't know if I see a guy like McCarthy doing that in Pittsburgh. I think McCarthy's offense is McCarthy's offense, and this is what we're fucking running.
Yeah. One name I think to be on the lookout for, because you wanted to talk the NFL Combine, and the name that's been buzzing from there, a fellow that's been forgotten about ever so slightly because he got injured this season. That's Drew Aller from the Penn State Nittany Lions, and it makes complete sense. It shouldn't be surprising that he's gotten buzz during the NFL Combine because obviously his best trait. This is a tweet that I found, and I thought it was hilarious. His best trait has always been making it seem like he should be a very good quarterback. So he's nailing it. 6'5", 230. He is prototypical.
Can't win a game.
He will sell you on potential, baby.
Do you remember when PMT, when Josh Allen was coming out in the draft and they started Josh Allen is tall.com? And that's the only thing we talked about, which is Josh Allen. He's 6'5". He's super tall. He's 6'5". Drew Allaire. He's 6'5". He's super tall. Big arm. Let's just do it. I don't know. Let's
he's going to turn into a first-round pick somehow.
God help us. If that's the state of the NFL where Drew Allaire goes first round, God help us. Okay, if you're Mike McCarthy and you have the option of Drew Allaire in the 4th or 5th, and you got Will Howard there, would you put Allaire in over Howard at this point?
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I'd run with Will Howard. Shit, McCarthy been singing Will Howard's praises since he showed up.
I mean, what's he supposed to say? Yeah, he's the only other quarterback on the roster right now. Well, I guess they have Rudolph.
Hey, there he is. He's still recovering from that helmet to the face.
So yeah, I just thought that was funny. I will always stand for Drew Aller hatred and slander.
This quarterback class, like there is a potential that one of these guys hits in a late round. I just don't know which one, and I don't know how long it's going to take. And I don't quite trust any of these guys entirely yet. Shit, I don't even trust Mendoza yet.
No. Okay. But that's now a segue into the combine.
Mm-hmm.
And Herb, I know you really like the combine.
I love the combine.
I'll more or so let you run with this one because I'll be honest, I didn't really follow too closely because I've never really understood the necessity to have dudes put on spandex and have them do all these drills when we should be evaluating what they've done on a football field with other players playing.
Correct. And I'm glad
I've always felt like that's the important part of the equation.
Playing football.
Yes.
Correct. I think here's what I'll say about the comment. I agree with you wholeheartedly. It should not be the end all be all. It should.
It really, I think the only reason it's truly around still, it is really just a gathering of NFL teams to be able to be all in one spot to have discussions about maybe trades or get like that intel and agents to get intel with different teams as free agencies coming up and whatnot. And it's really the things that we don't see that are the most important thing. And that's the interviews that our teams are having with the players behind closed doors. Well, not so much closed doors anymore because we always end up getting clips on Twitter now from teams showing something funny. So we'll figure out who the next Keon Coleman is this year in their interviews. But in terms of like the actual drills that they do on the field, I don't put a ton of stock into it. We've seen plenty of instances on one side where somebody tests extremely well and they look like an absolute beast and they flame out in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And then vice versa, people that disappoint in the combine and then have very successful careers in the NFL. So,
yeah, and I think the combine is a grain of salt, but for me, it's the big kickoff. It's the big, hey, it's here. The draft is staring us in the face. And I do like to, you can watch film on a lot of guys and go, wow, he's fast. Then you get him on the 40 and you go, holy shit, is he fast. So I do like that aspect of it. You get some measurables on folks and things like that. But I don't put all my stock into, he ran a 4.29. He's going to go first round. I think that's an asinine thing. I've known plenty of dudes who are super strong. I've known plenty of dudes who are super fast, can't play football worth a lick. Like, cannot play football.
And the player that I think falls perfectly into that bucket.
Does he play wide receiver?
No, he plays running back.
Ooh.
And he had a very good combine. Mike Washington from the Arkansas Razorbacks ran the fastest 40-yard dash of all running backs at the combine at a 4.33. So he has inched his way up to probably RB3, maybe gets up to RB2. I don't see it. But Mike Washington is not good. He, out of draft eligible running backs this year, over the course of his college career, he fumbled 12 times. Oof. It was the most out of any running back in the class. And he can't catch the ball worth a damn out of the backfield.
No, he can't. He can't. I think what's most impressive for me in Mike Washington, and the reason that he's rising, is the 40 time. But when you pair that with how big he is, 6'2", 225 moving like that, that's when an NFL GM and an NFL coach go, if I can get my hands on this guy, I can teach him some things. Now, more often than not, that doesn't work out. But it is not often you get a 6'2", 225 guy that moves like that. So that's why he's going to be a dice roll. And the 40 is going to carry him into the early second round, maybe, depending on the teams and their needs and trades. I don't think he's a first rounder, but he rose. No, he rose in a – no, I don't think so. Jadarian Price probably isn't a first rounder unless somebody gets real weird picks, 25 to 30. But Mike Washington did himself a lot of favors this weekend. He made some money doing what he did.
Oh, without a doubt. He joins a very small group of players in the past 20 combines to run a 40 that fast and weigh at least 220 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
First one is DK Metcalf. Can't really compare him.
No.
He's a freak of nature, plays a different position.
He's an Olympic guy.
The one that you can compare him to, though, is Isaac Gorendo.
Oh.
You remember him?
Yeah.
Got drafted by the 49ers.
Yep.
And what has he done in the NFL?
Come in a supplemental role and look like cheeks.
Exactly. So I tend to lean that is the type of running back Mike Washington will be in the NFL. But he at least made some money doing it compared to where he was coming into this.
Yeah, because I think he was he was being talked in the late fourth, early fifth at best. He'll be a second-round pick because of what he did at the Combine, which, again, I don't agree with. You have to watch the game tape, and obviously NFL teams do, but, God, was he moving. He was fucking moving, man. That's where dudes get paid. It's where John Ross III got paid.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I didn't, get too granular. I didn't actually watch any of the Combine. It was more just reading, the results after the fact. But one player that I was impressed by, and we've talked about him during the football season, Chris Brazzell, the second from Tennessee. If you remember correctly, that dude is a giant. He is 6'4", and he was already potentially working his way into the upper second round, maybe late first round, potentially. He went out and ran a 4.37 at 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
We are now talking about a Calvin Johnson type freak, a Julio Jones type athlete. I think it could be interesting because he is a dynamic receiver, but he's not he's not a straight line guy. He actually can run routes and make contested catches.
He plays the ball better than anybody in coming out, I think. And he might even be better at jump balls than Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson at this point.
Yeah, his 50-50 skills are very impressive.
He's like Juwan Jennings, but way more athletic. Where Juwan just makes these incredible over the middle catches. Deep. And I think Brazzell can be that type of guy. What did he weigh, though? Because he's a toothpick, isn't he?
200.
Okay, not bad. Not as bad. I thought he was 6'4", 180, 185.
No, he weighed – it says 200 in this article that I'm reading.
Well, let me do this, and I don't want to get away from Chris Brazzell too much. Can I tell you about somebody who's really going to blow your socks off because of how big he is and how much even more of a freak he is than Chris Brazzell?
Sure.
Jeff Caldwell, wide receiver out of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
6'5", 215, and came in fourth in the 40 at a 4.31. Broad jumped over 11 foot. This kid was playing D2 for 3 years at Lindenwood before he got his chance at Cincy. 6'5", and he's running a 4.31 at 215. Jesus Christ! Now, you take that into consideration for what he did for Cincinnati. 32 catches, just shy of 500 yards, and only 6 touchdowns. So then that's when you got to take the bigger scope on this. Yeah, he's an athletic freak. He did himself a lot of favors. But can he put it together on the football field? Yet to be seen. Now, if he had production levels like Chris Brazzell, we'd be talking about this kid as a top 25 pick.
Well, my first question was going to be, you probably are going to just be happy to be drafted considering you played 3 years at a D2 to even be in this position. But then immediately upon my research, you want to guess how tall he was as a senior in high school?
Oh, now that you say that, what, 5'10", 5'11"?
No.
Shorter, taller?
Shorter.
No way in 4 years that guy grew 6 inches.
5'8". He's grown 7 inches since his senior year of high school.
Well, it makes sense why he went to Lindenwood. Jesus, this guy's still figuring out how his body works. Holy hell.
So yeah, kind of makes sense now why he was playing D3 or D2 football for 3 years.
Holy shit. What? 7 inches in college?
Yeah.
That's insane. What if he's not done?
He's 6'5" now, and he has a 78-inch wingspan.
Oh, he's not done growing.
Dude, 78
Jeff, you're in
inches?
the wrong sport.
That is...
Do the math now.
Fuck, that is fucking long.
Do you want me to do the calculation for you here?
No, it's 62.
Yeah, you got it. Come on, do the math.
7 feet, 6 inches.
Is that right?
I don't know. Is it? I thought you were doing the math.
What was his wingspan? 70 what?
78.
6.5. So he's 6'5"
Okay.
long and 6'5" tall. I thought you said it like I was like, does this kid have a 7-foot wingspan? He's playing the wrong sport if that's the case. You're supposed to be playing shooting guard.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, I was not going to be high on him. I was actually going to go the opposite way from you because I had never heard of Jeff Caldwell before this weekend.
Sure.
Rightfully so. I'm all in on this guy now. I love it. I want all of Jeff Caldwell.
Sign him up. Get him in
I'm
here. Let's get him involved.
Fuck. Dude, I just can't get over the fact that he grew 7 inches in 4 years. And literally,
that's
still growing into his body.
That's literally insane.
The fact that he doesn't run like a fucking baby giraffe out there should be props in itself, let alone running a 4.31 doing it.
I watched that one multiple times. He got to the second gear so fast and just took off like a rocket ship. Truthfully, I thought it was a 4.2 something when he was running it. And you're just like, how in the hell is he doing this? But that, again, a guy that's going to make some money because of the measurables. But again, he only did 500 yards last year, 6 touchdowns.
And he has drop issues.
Yeah. So
for a dude that's 6'5", he does not. He is very opposite of Chris Brazzell, who's very good with 50-50 balls and going up and attacking the ball. Jeff Caldwell is very passive and does not know when he should go and be aggressive when it comes to a pass. And this is all purely based off this NFLDraftBuzz.com draft profile that I am reading real time to pretend like I know anything about Jeff Caldwell.
Yeah.
But according to this, he drops the ball a lot, and for a man of his size, he should catch more contested balls.
But here's the fun part now. we're going to be sitting there in the second round, and Jeff Caldwell's going to go, and you go, hey, that's a great pick.
I fucking love it.
That's a great pick. That's a quality player right there. I can tweet that out. Jeff Caldwell going to be a star with that team.
Remember the name.
Remember the
name. He's gonna be a guy.
Go ahead.
Keep talking about wide receivers. There's a name that you had brought up before we started recording that needs to be discussed.
Is it on my
and
list?
Not for good reasons.
Oh boy. Yeah. So what a lot of people are considering wide receiver 2 over Jordan Tyson at this point is a smaller slot receiver by the name of Mekhi Lemon.
I don't know if we can say smaller. Isn't he like 6'1", 6'2" still?
I thought it was like 5'11", 6 foot. I'm going to throw that in the small category.
Okay. Continue.
Incredible football player. Like, the talent is there. But I want to see the video of the team interviews, because his press conference, that dude was either stoned or in full demon mode. I'm not sure yet. He didn't look right. He looked, I don't know, and the way he spoke was just, it's like he was angry to be there, but wanted to tell everybody how great he is, but also he looked high, and you could hardly understand what the hell he was saying. What's going on with Mekhi Lemon? What? Huh?
Yeah, I don't know who his PR team was leading up to this draft. But they didn't, if he does have one, they did not do well. And I would probably fire them, because for a dude that will be drafted in the first round, more than likely, the perception of Mekhi Lemon took a vast or very big hit over the weekend, and not for the right reasons. And a lot of that will due to racial undertones and whatnot. But though everything you're saying is spot on. Like, it was very odd.
So weird. It was so weird.
The way he came across in a lot of those interviews that we saw. I don't want to make assumptions based off any person and how they talk, but Herb, I'm going to be honest. Even though he went to college for 3 years, we may be looking at a human being with an IQ less than 80.
At least that's what he portrays, right? Like, it was. Here's 2 things that I know about Mekhi. 3 things I know about Mekhi Lemon. 1, he is a hell of a wide receiver. 2, he's going to go in the first round. And 3, that boy listens to way too much fucking Kodak.
No, it's not Kodak. It's NBA Youngboy.
Oh, you think that's how deep it goes? How much Trippie Redd do you think is on his playlist?
Brother, you are not going deep enough.
The demon eyes, brother.
You are at the most superficial level right now. We are going. These are names you have never heard of on his.
Oh yeah, he listens to some dudes who don't even have mixtapes.
But the worst part is, if he had a difficult upbringing and he was from a very tough and rumble neighborhood like Compton or Miami-Dade.
Wait, where's he from?
You could probably make sense of this persona that we saw over the weekend. Well, Mekhi Lemon, we did the research before the show. He's from just outside the LA suburbs. He is in an LA suburb.
Oh, Alamitos. Los Alamitos. Orange County. Okay? And
yeah.
The OC was a television show. Okay? It told you everything you needed to know.
Let's not pretend like we're in fucking Compton here. You're not walking through the streets with Bloods and Crips.
Let me tell you a personal story real quick, because it's about LA. I met DeAnthony Thomas at a camp once, right? You remember DeAnthony? Played at Oregon, great kick returner. He was from Crenshaw, okay? And he seemed more put together than Mekhi Lemon did. and Makai Lemon's living in a $1.5 million home with this both parent, and Clarence parents got a real good marriage type setup. Okay,
Yeah.
But I tell you what, dude, USC is right by Watts, right by Crenshaw and Compton. Apparently, Makai Lemon was influenced by the neighborhood.
Too much young boy, I'm telling you.
Now, let me play devil's advocate because, like everything else we've said with the combine, you can't take it all. Like, that has to be the end all be all. The dude's a super freak on the football field, highly productive. Somebody's going to get a hell of a talent. My concern comes from how long is that talent going to be allowed on the field?
Yeah. But after this episode, or after we finish recording, you should go and just compare like what we heard from Makai Lemon from this weekend at the draft combine compared to him at the Big Ten media days before the season.
Completely different?
Vastly different. He's buttoned up, suit and tie, glasses on, dreads down, very put together, talking completely different. Like, very put together.
You think he was high?
I don't know, but what a disaster. This dude was potentially a top 10 pick. He probably falls to the mid to later or end of the first round just based off this.
If the Chiefs draft him at 9, this guy's a headline.
and it sounds like what we saw in the media, that was good compared to what he was doing in team interviews.
No.
Quote, this is from an NFL insider, Braden Fihoko. I talked to a scout just now who said he didn't know what Makai Lemon's motive was behind his combine interviews, but whoever advised the kid needs to be fired. Absolutely bombed it, word for word.
Yikes. Oh, God, I was hoping that was a show.
I was told the other day, even some people at the combine told me he was a turnoff. I know a few teams took him off the board. Does he fall? If he does, how far? One team told me, great player, horrible attitude. What a disaster.
Do you think... You and I have mocked him to the Rams. Do you think he played this all off, except for with the Rams, to try and dictate where he goes?
No comment. I don't know.
Who fucking knows with this guy? A disaster is the absolute right word. And the fact that he was like that behind closed doors, God help him.
Yeah. Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah.
Any other combine things you want to discuss?
Yeah.
Tight end class. Last thing I got. Tight
ahead.
end class. Freak athletes.
Rising.
If we're talking about dudes in spandex doing great things, Kenyon Sadiq and Eli Stowers from Vanderbilt, we are truly seeing the development of tight ends in real time and what they are expected to be moving forward based off these last 2 draft classes, maybe last 3. Like once Brock Bowers came into the league, not only are you going to be expected to be an inline good blocker, but you better be just as capable of splitting out wide and running an entire route tree.
Yes.
As well.
Yes.
Because if not, you better be a goddamn good blocker, because there is no place for somebody that is a so-so blocker and a so-so receiver at the tight end position anymore.
No, not at all. And there's another dude in there, Sam Roosh, out of Stanford, which we all love a Stanford tight end. I don't know anybody that dislikes a Stanford tight end. He's a dude that had an incredible combine. Didn't blow you off the page in the testing, but this dude running routes and this dude catching the ball moved his way up. He's not going to compete with Sadiq and Stowers to be potentially first-round picks, but he's going to be a quality tight end. This tight end class could be special. Shit, I mean, you go back to last year, man. Loveland, Warren, and Fannin. Be tough to compete with. I do want to talk about somebody who fell kind of hard in my book, and it's kind of it's somebody that you were high on when we were talking mock drafts. That's Denzel Boston, the wide receiver out of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't run. He competed in some of the drills. He did some jumps, but he left me wanting more. Like, I know what he's capable of because I watched him and I've gone back and looked at his tape. He's a big kid, 6'4", 220. Like, he's supposed to be that big body dude in this one, and he got kind of blown past. Perfect example is he jumped a 35-inch vert, which is not super impressive for a wide receiver. What's even more damning that Denzel Boston at 6'4" jumped 35 inches, but Caden Weegan out of Iowa, the little white boy receiver who's 5'9", jumped a half inch higher than Denzel Boston. That's starting to bring a little concern. I know the productivity is there on the field, but like he just looked out of place. He didn't look comfortable out there. I don't know if it was anxiety, the lights are too bright. I don't know, but Denzel Boston might have worked his way out to this point out of the first round, like we had previously stated.
Mm-hmm.
So, and shout out Jake Rodriguez, middle linebacker out of Texas Tech. Fuck yeah, bud. Go prove him wrong. That kid's the second coming of Luke Kuechly, and I'll maintain that until I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He's not an athlete. He just likes playing. You know, he's always flying to the ball, but he's not an athlete. Kiss my ass, he's not an athlete. 4'5'7", almost a 40-inch vert. Kiss my ass.
Okay, I think that wraps up NFL, at least for right now. The other big topic we will end the episode on that we wanted to talk about, and that was the World Baseball Classic, which begins on Thursday. So I'll just kind of break down the pools and the locations of those, Herb, and then I'll kind of turn it over to you because I don't know exactly where you want to
I don't have a clue, but let's ride.
So in Pool A, which will be in San Juan, Puerto Rico, you got Puerto Rico, Panama, Cuba, Canada, and Colombia. Pool B, which will be in Houston, will be the USA, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, and Brazil. Pool C will be in Tokyo, will obviously be Japan, South Korea, Australia, Czech Republic, and Chinese Taipei, aka Taiwan. I found out after a very long time. Pool D. Dude, when I was a kid and I would watch the Little League World Series and it popped up Chinese Taipei, I was always so fucking floored. I'm like, what does this mean?
It's Taiwan.
Why can't they just say China?
It's Taiwan.
Because it's not China, technically. Depending who you ask.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue.
Pool D will be in Miami. You have Venezuela, Netherlands, Dominican Republic, Israel, and Nicaragua. Nicaragua. So yeah, 4 pools of 5 teams, and it will be round robin play, and then we move to the quarterfinals where the runners up from each pool will play their winners of a different pool.
Okay. Here's what I'll say about the pool so far. Whoever created Pool A with Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Puerto Rico, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Because that's a loaded pool. That's a bunch of teams that are looking to compete and go out there, and some of them, I assume, think they can go win it. I know the Puerto Ricans think they can. The Cubans definitely think that they can. But maniacal stuff out of Pool A. And then you go to Pool B, and the USA just has a clear path out of that pool. Mexico is going to put together a team, but the way that the U.S. has put together their roster, I don't know that Mexico stands a damn chance anymore.
It'll be a bigger story if the U.S. ends up losing any games in the round robin.
Correct. Especially with the pitching staff that they put together with Kershaw, Skeens, Skubal, I mean, we can keep going down, but I think that's where they have the leg up. A lot of people will tell you that it's the bats. I don't think so. I think it's the U.S. pitching is going to be the storyline of that team this year.
Yeah, and we were talking before we started recording. I don't understand the timeline of the World Baseball Classic and having it be weeks before the MLB season starts. One, you probably aren't getting the best players from all countries because there's some teams that will refuse to allow their players to play in something like this due to the injury risk that's associated with it. Just look at what happened in the Olympics for men's hockey. There's some injuries between Sidney Crosby and Kevin Fiala that have teams up in arms about future participation. The second piece of it, the pitching associated with it, we have, like you said, we have this great rotation of starters at our disposal, but you're going to get, what, 3 innings out of them? Maybe 5 if you're lucky, because they're still ramping up for the upcoming season. Spring training just started a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. Like, these guys are nowhere near, like, full workload in advance of this World Baseball Classic. So if we truly want a best on best baseball type tournament, it feels like this is something that should happen immediately after the World Series.
See, and I think I was going to ask you when you would put it, right? And then you're talking about nobody who played in the World Series is going to play, right? We're going to see like the NFL Pro Bowl style where everybody opts out. It's too long for those teams playing in the World Series. But then you're talking about a 162 game season, and then we're going to throw this big tournament, this global tournament at the end of it. How many guys would be like, man, I'm good? So the tough part is I don't know that there is a great time to have the World Baseball Classic. And it sucks because what an event. What an event, you know? And I don't know. I don't know when I would put it. Do you put it in January? Where, hey, they got a couple months off, they get to rest, relax, recover, and now I
feel like that.
Go ahead.
I feel like that doesn't make sense. Like, you still have all the pitching issues, but it's probably even worse now because pitchers are like stopping and starting now. Like, they just had a couple months off from the end of last season. Then they come back and they're expected to pitch to the best of their capabilities during a 2-3 week span in January, and then not do anything until the end of February again. Like, this at least makes some sense where they're starting to ramp up for the upcoming season, and then it just parlays like right into the beginning of the season.
Yeah. I don't know that we're ever going to get, other than the Japanese who will they'll play their guys as if they're playing a 162 game schedule. They don't give a damn. I think I
think it's different for them too, because while they do have like their bona fide superstars and Ohtani and Yamamoto and some of these other guys that are coming over, this is a great like situation for them just for a scouting perspective. So if I was them too, I would be like, I play me as much as possible.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it to the show.
Right? Yeah. It's a lot different. Like, the USA is probably the only team, maybe the Dominicans, maybe Puerto Rico, that is a team that consists entirely of players on a 40-man roster.
Even the Dominicans aren't there. Yeah, you're right. No, that is kind of fucking crazy.
So it's a lot trickier for us compared to some of these other countries because unlike a team like Israel, right, where this is a great scouting opportunity, like it doesn't matter whatever other type of contractual obligations I'm under, I'm playing in that, and you're not going to stop me. Like I need to do this if I want to further my baseball career, right? Sure. Whereas baseball team, the USA team, these are all MLB players. they all have to jump through the hoops of making sure it's okay with the team, making sure they can get insurance in case they do get injured, weighing the pros and cons of that.
Yeah. Yeah. That is very interesting point. I just wonder if we pushed it back to amateurs in the world baseball, but then who would watch?
Nobody.
Yeah, that's tough. All right, give me this. Unless you've got a point, I was going to kind of go towards the end of who you got.
I was just going to look up. Will the Olympics have baseball?
Yes.
In the upcoming one again?
In
yeah,
2028.
So how the fuck is that going to work in the middle of the summer?
It'll be a pause. There'll be a pause. Not the first time something like this has happened. I mean, the NHL gets away with the pause too. So it'll just be a pause in the season. We'll have a shortened season. I'm betting.
Well, last time,
24.
No, last time baseball was in the Olympics, I believe. What was that? It was dropped after the 2008 games.
Gotcha.
So it was left out in Paris, in 2024, but MLB only allowed players not on 40-man rosters to play, and then teams additionally blocked many eligible prospects from playing.
So a lot of minor league guys were getting to show their stuff on the global stage.
Yeah, so like a couple of names that you'd recognize from the last team: Todd Frazier, Edwin Jackson.
That's it.
And then some interesting younger players that are now have made a name for themselves. Shane Baz, pitcher, and then Tristan Casas, first baseman from the Red Sox. So MLB has not stated whether or not they will allow players to play yet. They said it's a possibility, but
I hope they do.
It'll probably be something that will be a point of discussion in the CBA that expires end of this year.
I hope they'd let them play because I think it'd be a lot more fun. I think a lot more eyes would be on the sport, and baseball is a sport that is absolutely shrinking. How do you grow it? Put it on the global stage. Go ahead and let me ask you this. I think it's a foregone conclusion that it's going to be USA against Japan again.
I hope so.
Do we have a chance this time?
Oh, yeah. If you were to rank the 10 best players that are participating in the World Baseball Classic, you could argue that 6 of them play for Team USA.
Sure. And 2 of them play for Japan, and then you've got your Latin countries after that.
Yeah. We are stacked, top to bottom, with plenty of depth at all positions. The only thing that obviously is scary with Japan is they are, and I know baseball is different in the fact that it's a lot more individualized compared to other sports, but it's still a team sport at the same time. But these Japanese players, these upper echelon Japanese players, these dudes have known each other since they were kids.
Since they're 5.
They've grown up together. They've played together their entire lives. Like they already have that camaraderie, like that chemistry and everything. Like especially when it comes to like the catcher and the pitching staff, and then just like the coaches that they have, like they are such a well-connected unit already. It makes like this is a perfect like setting for teams like that. Like in a tournament when you have a bunch of other teams that are throwing teams together that don't have that, you can really see some of the benefits of that. Plus they just play a very sound technical game. Like, every Japanese team is always going to be great on the base paths. They're always going to be great in the field. And now the scary part is they're starting to become just as scary from the dish as they're pitching. Like their hitting is catching up to where their pitching was, because for the longest time, that's what Japan was known for, was producing high level pitchers. Well, now they're starting to produce high level batters as well, which is horrifying.
If you make it past Shohei for whatever reason, guess what? Seiya Suzuki's next up.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I do believe that we have a chance, but I also will just fall back on, depends on our pitching and the workload that they are able to take on. Because we talked about it, like Skubal, for example, they're only going to let him start one game, and that's in pool play against a team that we probably would win regardless if he pitched or not. So once the games truly matter, you're already down one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Yeah, I will say this is probably the most talented World Baseball Classic we've seen in our lifetime. It's something like 75 or 78 MLB All-Stars are in this thing. What a great thing for the sport as a whole. There's two stories I want to throw at you, though, or two little tidbits I wanted you to be aware of in this one. Cuba's going to be trotting out 44-year-old Alexi Ramirez to play for them and probably be in the starting lineup.
God damn.
44-year-old Alexi
That reminds me of what was it? Omar
Vizquel,
Julio Franco. That dude played until he was like fucking 55 down in like some Dominican league
and just played forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw
dude, you have a family. You can hang out with them.
You got grandkids, man. Go see them.
It's okay. Nobody will judge you.
When I saw that Cuba had Alexi Ramirez, I was like, "Oh, that's an interesting managerial pick." And they're like, "Nah, he's batting fourth. Like,
he's batting cleanup.
he's hitting. What are you talking about?" But here's the other storyline, and I because of current world happenings, and I'm not trying to get political, I don't want to give them too much time. But can I give you a couple of names that you're going to recognize that are playing for the Israelis? Or I shouldn't say playing, that are a part of the Israelis. Okay? Player-wise, like the biggest names out there, the biggest name out there is Harrison Bader, which I sure, right?
It screams Jewish, yeah.
Wow. Matt Mervis, who played for a while in the MLB. I'm just going to keep on rolling right past that one. But can I read you off some names on their coaching staff?
Yes.
Their manager is Brad Ausmus.
Okay, but the coaching staffs are weird, though. It doesn't always mean that they are of that descent. Like,
no. Well, and here's the interesting about the Israeli team. If you're Jewish, you qualify for the Israeli team. Just like as a de facto, if you are Jewish, you can play for the Israelis.
Okay, so does the U.S. team get anybody that is Christian?
I mean, I would assume there are Christians out there, but like that is like a prerequisite for the Israelis, is that if you're an American born but you're Jewish, you can play on a dual citizenship type thing. It's not quite like Soccer World Cup or anything where like Team USA had a German manager. No, these guys represent the country, and might not be Israeli, but are Jewish or some affiliation. But okay, you got Brad Ausmus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their bench coach and partial hitting coach is Kevin Euclid.
Hell yeah.
Their first base coach is Jason Bell. You remember that name?
No.
Oh, Jason Bell played for a long time. Their third base coach is former third baseman Mark Lorietta.
Oh, okay.
And then their bullpen coach is Jason Marquise. I'm sitting here going, they've got name after name after name of the 2000s on their coaching staff. Where in the hell did they pull this from?
Seriously.
Yeah, pretty crazy bunch of coaches. In terms of player, though, really the biggest name is Harrison Bader.
The one fun tidbit that I found out was the dudes that have played for the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a fucking cheat code from
Mm-hmm.
them. None of them lived in the Netherlands.
No.
None of them are Dutch.
Nope.
Found out that fucking Curaçao
Yep.
is a fucking territory of
Yep.
the Netherlands. So they just get to take all of the Dominican, the Caribbean-born Curaçaoan players. But that wasn't what I was going to...
Do you know who their manager is?
No. The point I was going to say, though. Yeah, he's from Curaçao. I just found that out as I was reading this. No, what I was going to point out, the last... so Kenley Jansen, one of the top closers of all time, he plays for Team Netherlands. And I forgot which year it was. It was an older year. But when he made his World Baseball Classic, you want to guess what position he started at?
Catcher.
He was a fucking catcher for the Netherlands team before he moved over to pitcher later on.
Until he realized he had a rocket.
But that, I just thought was kind of crazy.
Hey, you know what? You've got me. I'm rooting Team USA, obviously. Let me pick a secondary team. Give me the Dutch, baby. Give me the Dutch.
No, because they're cheaters. It's bullshit.
Hey, why can't we get all the Puerto Ricans on our team then?
Yeah, exactly. Same thing.
Same concept. Oh, and real quick, did Nolan Arenado not play for Team USA at one point in time?
I could have sworn he did. I didn't
because
even
he's lining up at third base for the Puerto Ricans this year.
Yeah, I didn't even know he was Puerto Rican.
I want Nolan back. I like Bregman, but I want Nolan back. That's not fair.
No, they can have him. That dude's washed.
Probably, but it's world.
Dude was born in fucking Newport Beach, California.
Yeah. And I think his dad or something was born.
We've gotten very lackadaisical as to what gives you like Joel Embiid.
Thank you. It all went to shit when that happened. You're playing for Cameroon, bud.
Dude, he would have a better argument to play in fucking France.
Probably.
Than the U.S.
Luol Deng played for the Brits for all those years.
Like, we have gotten very loose in these determinations, if you ask me. Like what you're saying with the Israeli team, you just gotta be Jewish. Fuck everything else. I don't even care if you have a descendant from Israel. If you're Jewish.
Don't quote me. I am fairly certain that if you are Jewish, you can qualify for the Israeli national teams.
No, I'm gonna run with it now. I'm there.
But fair enough. Run with it.
Then. I'm there.
But let's get off the Israeli thing because there are a lot happening in that regard.
What do you mean?
Turn on the news, bud.
What's the news? I live in a box.
I hope you're kidding.
I lived in a enclosed box, and I do not worry myself with anything outside of said box.
I hope you're kidding, but if not, I will fill you in after the pod. We're not going to have that conversation here.
The worst part is I'm making a circle around my head as I'm saying a box.
It's like a circle, not a square, a triangle. It's like a circle. It's round.
Herb. Shoot! Before I forget, episode 44.
Yes.
Let's hit him with some athletes.
What a list. We thought 42 was a banger. Buckle up for this one.
Yeah, this is gonna take me a hot second.
We don't have to go through all of them, but there's some names on here.
I feel like we gotta start baseball because there's some fucking ballers that played in the MLB. Obviously, gotta start with Hammer and Hank Aaron.
Duh.
The unofficial home run king. Herb, you want to take a stab at how many All-Star appearances he has on his resume?
15.
25!
Sweet Jesus.
No. He won an MVP back in 1957. Batting champ, World Series champ, almost 4,000 hits, 3,700 hits, and almost 2,300 RBIs. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October.
Come on now.
Hum diddly do.
And what a hell of a manager too. Let's not get that twisted either.
14-time All-Star, 5-time World Series champ, AL MVP. Also has a couple World Series MVPs as well. That's kind of how he got the moniker. Will Clark, 6-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger, career 303 batting average. Some current players. Paul Goldschmidt is still out there. He has a Hall of Fame. He has a Hall of Fame case. MVP, 7-time All-Star, 5-time Silver Slugger, 4-time Gold Glove. A name that is probably very fond in your heart. Anthony Rizzo, 3-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove, and obviously a key member of the 2016 World Series champion Chicago Cubs.
He'll have a name hanging in the rafters at Wrigley, best believe.
Basketball also has a very solid list of names. A guy by the name of Jerry West.
Oh, you mean the logo?
That guy.
That guy.
14-time All-Star, 10-time first-team All-NBA. Also a member of the 75th anniversary team and an NBA champ. Only one, though. You can thank the Celtics for that. Pistol Pete Maravich, one of the best scorers of all time. 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA. He's also the NCAA scoring record holder. Then we have George Gervin.
Yep.
Hall of Famer. 4-time scoring champ. 9-time All-Star. 5-time All-NBA first team. And then football. Some solid names here as well.
Really, really good names.
John Riggins, Super Bowl champion. And
That's
Super Bowl
who you
MVP.
start with for 44?
I'm sorry. Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Put some respect on the 44's name.
Stop yelling at me. Jeez. Who else did you have on here?
Jim Brown.
Okay, Jim Brown.
Thank you.
Hall of Famer Jim Brown. These ones I don't have stats for because they weren't on my chat GBT list.
All right, let me go through a few of these real quick. I won't do it as in depth as you, but you left some names off there. All right,
let me finish.
Well, go ahead, finish football then.
Well, I was just gonna end up reading your list now.
One of the greatest tight ends of all time, Dallas Clark, rocked 44. Cam Scadaboo's rocking 44 right now. Marlon Humphrey, I don't know if he went back to 44. He was at 44 before, and now he's all over the damn place. Right? Let me kick it back to baseball real quick. Jason Isringhauser, one of the greatest closers to ever do it. World Series champion. Jake Peavy, Cy Young winner. Roy Oswalt, Cy Young winner. Roy Oswalt, by the way, what a baseball player. What a pitcher. Love that guy to death. There's two in basketball that I really want to make sure that we get out there. Christian Laettner wore 44 with Miami Heat for a time. So I want to include Christian Laettner in there.
Fraudulent.
And then one of my favorite NBA players of all time, Brian Scalabrine, rocked 44 with the Celtics.
The Red Mamba.
The White Mamba.
White Mamba.
White Mamba. And don't forget, he said, I might have been the worst NBA player out there, but I would whoop anybody's ass in one-on-one. And
no, I think the comment was, I am closer to LeBron than you are to me.
Yes.
Than an average person is to me.
Yes.
And then he proceeded to go to a YMCA and hold one-on-ones for the entire day. And I don't think he gave up a point.
Nope. Fun fact on Scalabrine. Do you know where he went to college?
No, not a clue.
USC. He played at USC.
Man, he wasn't doing himself any favors as a ginger to go play in a jersey like USC.
Nah, but dude, do me a favor. Get him and get Jason Williams in a room together and just let them talk. Let those two dudes go at it.
But yeah, solid numbers for
Great,
44.
Great
I wasn't
list
expecting
on 44.
Because we're going to start getting into some ugly numbers here soon.
The 47 through 49 is going to be brutal.
Yeah. But the 40s have been a lot better than I was expecting them to be thus far.
Yeah, way better than I thought.
Any shout-outs in your neck of the woods?
Formula One starting was a big one for me. Where was it? Oh, yes, here it is. Shout out to Cristo Fernandez. You know who Cristo Fernandez is?
No, never heard of him.
You ever seen Ted Lasso?
Yeah, I love Ted Lasso.
Danny Rojas, the Football is Life.
Yeah.
That's his name. Cristo Fernandez.
Why didn't you just say that?
Well, because I wanted to give his real name because he is attempting to make something of himself in the world of soccer and is currently a top prospect for a number of MLS teams and is currently signed on with the Chicago Fire 2 team and apparently has been cutting it up in the USL. Like, hey, dude, congratulations, man. He might make himself into a pro soccer player after all this.
Nice.
Yeah. Football is life.
Football is life. Let's go.
That's the only shout out I've got. So shout out Krista.
Nice. I don't have anything, to be completely honest with you.
No, nothing in life?
No. I didn't bookmark anything before, unfortunately.
All right, well, shout out the missus and let's get out of here, huh?
Yeah, so that wraps up episode 44. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow, tell somebody you know to give us a listen.
Please.
And we will catch you on next week's episode.
See ya.
Peace.